So this will be the one and only time I do this. This will help guide you a little bit in your studies. So you can use the chapter guides to assist your preparation for the lecture exam. These are textbook sections that you are responsible for in addition to my lecture, but because it's a lecture exam, I'm going to focus my questions based on my lecture. So you can access the chapter guides posted on the week of the exam in the module. And, kind of generally speaking, your lecture exams are all 100 points. In this particular case today, I'm going to tell you about lecture exam 1, which will have a total of 38 multiple choice questions at 2 points each, 14 true-false questions at 1 point each. That's the first 90 points. You're going to have 2 short answer questions, one worth 4 points and one worth 6, and that is your overall 100 points on lecture exam 1. For chapter 1, be sure that you can handle the definitions of both anatomy and physiology, listing in order those levels of structural organization, both directions, small to large, large to small. List and define all of your necessary life functions. List and define the survival needs. Define homeostasis and understand the control mechanisms. And be able to use your language of anatomy, anatomical position, complementary terminology, directional terms like posterior, anterior, lateral, medial, distal, proximal, superior, and superficial and deep, sorry. Make sure you can use properly all 3 planes and explain. And again, this one time I'm going to be very transparent and helpful to you. There are 10 multiple choice questions and 1 true-false from chapter 1. In chapter 2, make sure you can define and compare matter and energy, name and define the types of energy, define what an element is versus what molecules and compounds are, name and define and explain your chemical bonds, know and explain factors influencing the rate of chemical reactions, carbon, 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 understand it, and then be able to kind of give some information on those listed organic compounds and the basis for the difference between acids and bases in the pH scale. 11 multiple choice, 3 true false from chapter 2. In chapter 3, cells, understanding the difference between active and passive transport with types of each and the importance and what's going on with tonicities. And then that entire list of organelles, name them, define them, where are they located, what are they for, and then don't forget all of the information on the cell cycle that I cover right at the end of the chapter 3 lecture. Here we have 10 multiple choice and 10 true false. For those of you keeping tally, we're up to 25. Sorry, we're up to 31 and 14 as far as questions go. Okay, so we're getting there. And finally, in chapter 4, the last 7 multiple choice questions come from here. Make sure you understand the functions of the different types of tissues, identifying the fiber types found in the different connective tissues, and the 3 muscle tissue types and how you differentiate them, as well as how you differentiate between the 3 different types of lining membranes. So the last 7 multiple choice are here. And then as far as your short answer goes, one of your questions is going to come from chapter 1, and the other question is going to come from chapter 3. So I've just given that away. Question from chapter 4 and one question worth 4 points from chapter 1 and 1 question worth 6 points from chapter 3. And that's all I'm going to tell you about that.